Good evening, my viewers. This is George Ondek with another one of my Slice of Life shows, and it's a Slice of Pizza show, too. It's also celebrating my 20th anniversary on cable access TV, and I'm very proud to have Michael Kabashi on as my guest. And the feature tonight is a successful businessman in Westchester. I've had several people on who've been successful businessmen. I had Dave Goldberg from the plumbing business. I've had business owners. I've had the president on. Tonight I have Michael on. And Michael, we want to hear a little bit about you, how you got started in the business you're in. I will mention it one time because I don't want it to be a commercial. Nonna's Pizza in Peekskill, New York. Tell me about your beginnings and how you've made a success, Michael, so my audience can hear about this.
George, it's everyone has a long journey. I feel mine was just as long. The beginning was very hard, I assure you. The beginning was one of the hardest things I had to do in my life. It was 14, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, taking transfers of 3 buses to get to work. And
this was in the Bronx?
This was in the Bronx, yes.
3 buses?
3 buses. I would take a bus from 233rd and White Plains Road to Gun Hill Road and White Plains Road, take another bus from there, transfer from Gun Hill Road to Webster Avenue and Bedford Park. Bedford Park, Webster Avenue, took another bus to 180 Southern Boulevard. It used to be called Pizza Italia. Never forget, that was my first job. I did pretty much 14 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Wow.
I was getting paid $250, and I tell you, I was a happy man. It was getting to me. It was. It was the hardest thing to do in the beginning, to stand on my feet for 16 hours, 14 hours. Especially in the Bronx, there's no air conditioning, there's no ventilation, there's no back doors where you could get some air through. So you're basically locked in. Once you're in for the day.
And you were basically an immigrant from another country.
Yes, I was.
And you've come a long way. You are now the owner of a very successful business.
Thank you.
With 30 or 40 employees.
Yes.
And from what I go to your business, and 2 things that struck me: the friendliness of your staff and the sauce. And I know you're Albanian, but you have an Italian connection too. Let's hear about that, Michael.
Well, the love of my life is Italian.
Oh, really?
We have 4 beautiful kids together.
Oh, you have 4? I didn't know that.
3 boys and a girl. We met back in 95. Actually, September 9th was the day we met of 1995. And it's so interesting now that I'm thinking about, because 2004, September 9th, our first son was born. Right on the day we met. It's like,
wow.
I can't tell you.
The anniversary of the day you
Absolutely.
met.
It's on the day.
And what's her name, by the way?
Joanne Marie.
Joanne Marie. What was her maiden name?
Maiden name was Caputo.
Oh, that's a good Italian name.
100%
Probably
Italian.
from Sicily, right?
Calabrese.
Calabrese.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So you make a pretty good Italian Kosovo pizza there.
Right? Yes. We try, George. Everything that you do in life with your heart and your soul, it comes out good.
But you were a worker for someone else.
Absolutely.
Then. And now you own your own business.
Yes.
So you're a modern American business success story then.
Well, my whole family says, well, you're an American now. I'm like, yeah, I'm a proud American.
You proud of this American flag?
I'll die for it tomorrow.
I almost died for it, as you well know. In Vietnam.
I'm honored to be sitting here with you, with all the stories I heard from you, and I'm seriously honored with everything, the way your life has taken direction.
We've both come from humble beginnings, and we've come a long way through work. And isn't that the magic thing in America, that you can have upward mobility if you work hard enough for it?
It's interesting because I've been in many places in the world, and this is one nation where if you really work hard, you have your mind set, heart set, you're humble, you're dedicated, there's no one to stop you. They don't.
Yes.
No one stops you. Actually, you do get help. You do get acknowledgement. You do get respect for your hard work. Other nations, if you're
There's
not
a
from
caste system. The top 1% have everything, and I'm talking about like in the dictatorship, like in the Balkan countries.
well, Balkan countries and the remaining of communist
Yeah,
countries.
yeah.
Basically, everything was
The
set by
leaders.
communism.
The leaders get everything.
The leaders get everything.
And like in Cuba. Cuba,
exactly.
the average person I hear makes $80 a month. Do you believe that? 80. They still have the cars from the 50s from America. They've never built new cars, or the people who live there can't afford them.
That could be the most valuable thing they have
Yes.
besides the coast and the ocean side. Because every vehicle there is from 1950s to 1940s.
Antiques.
They're antiques, absolutely.
Do you
And they
have one
kept
of
them in
those
mint
cars?
condition. No, I
50s?
wish I did.
You're not an antique car collector.
I love them. I really do. I found a 1948 Super, Buick Super, and I was trying to get it, and I lost touch with the person that had it listed on the paper, but I definitely wanted to
Michael,
bring it to
the
life.
sad thing, getting back to our backgrounds, being poor at one time, in the 1950s when I was a teenager, I used to see Ford Thunderbird, 57 or 57 Chevy, and I wished I had one. I could never afford it. But through work now, I have brand new cars. 2018. I may be paying them off, but that's what's great about America. If you work, if you've worked your whole life, you can reap the rewards through education, through hard work, through labor, but you can rise. Like a pizza, by the way.
This is, like I said, here you could rise. Here you could achieve. If you really want it, you could get somewhere. Other nations, I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. I really don't see. I've been to other nations. You're not treated as an equal human being unless you're from that nation.
Really?
Automatically, you're viewed differently. I'll give you an example. Germany, majority. They see you. They see your dollar. They don't even want to talk to you.
Really?
It's interesting. It really is. Anywhere you really go, you go to Austria. I spent some time in Austria. When I first left Kosovo, I basically went as a political asylum to Austria and Vienna. I spent about a month there. It's just, you're basically treated as not even a second-hand person. You're treated as dirt.
Really?
No, it's not even a joke. It's a sad situation.
It's amazing what makes America great is we're a melting pot of all countries of the world.
That's the beauty.
Somebody was telling me they recently were in Russia and Siberia, and they're African American. One's a pro basketball player, and his wife, who's a model and owns a modeling magazine. You know what they told me while they were at this spa in the city I just told you?
Siberia.
It was the first time they saw an African American person. See, but I don't know where I went with that. But
That's diversity.
What makes
America's
America
diversity,
great
yes.
is diversity. And
Correct.
Peekskill, where you have your business and I live,
Yes, we are very
we are a
diversified.
diverse city.
Yep.
We all get along good
Absolutely.
together, and we work together, and that's what makes a city great.
That's what makes a community great.
It makes a country great.
Absolutely. It starts with the family.
Yeah.
The family great.
Michael,
Community, society,
what was it like for you the first day you came to America, and how old were you, and what did you dream America was like before you came here? And why did you come here? That's a whole bunch of questions.
I knew it was a land of the free. I didn't know how much freedom you really had. I just knew of it. I heard of it over the years growing up. When I first got here, it was hard to
How old were you?
I was 19 years old. It was very hard.
Were you alone? Were
Yes.
you with your really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It was very hard to adjust. It was one of the hardest things, I assure you.
Did you have a relative here? Or?
My brother was here, but the minute I got here, 30 days, maybe 45 days later, left, went back for like almost a year. Didn't want to come back. wanted to go back and live the life there. It just didn't work out.
Were you able to speak English? Did they teach English?
Very little bit in the beginning.
Wow.
I never forget though, I worked in 204th in Bainbridge, Nicky's Pizza, and the lady, the one of the owners was the husband and wife, and the lady Gloria, and the husband Vito. Gloria was the one that helped me out with the language and basically showed me how to bang a pie and stretch the dough in the right way. Those are memories I never really forget, really. What was it like? Was it hard? George, I'm only going to tell you one thing. About a month and a half into being in the States, I was living alone in a very bad neighborhood, and at night, I would get very, very, very sad. I would miss the family. I would miss the life. I used to cry like a child.
Really?
I used to cry aloud. And I was so sad, and it was just no going back because literally I was getting abused by the paramilitary forces throughout the Kosovo. I was getting abused every time I would go out. I was in college for 6 months, 7 months, and then they came in and they took the Constitution away. Certain rights that we had in the Constitution, they just forced themselves into the parliament, rewrote it, and that's it. They took it away.
Where was this, Michael?
In Pristina. This was back in
your
1989, correct. That was the capital city, Pristina, in Kosovo. I never forget, on the day that happened, they brought the army and they closed the whole entire parliament. And us, as the students, it was raining hard. But it wasn't really raining. It was rain and snow, sleet together, and it was cold. And we were outside, and we had AK-47s right in our face.
Don't mention AK-47s.
My apologies.
Today.
There was weapons in our face the whole entire time. We were demonstrating. We were protesting, but it was one of the worst things. And after that, things just got worse and worse and worse. When I decided to come to the States.
And a dictator ruled the country. Was it under communist rule?
Yes, absolutely. It was Milosevic at the time who died in Hague in prison as a prisoner of war, meaning as a criminal of war. He died. He died in jail. He deserved.
When you mention AK-47s, that almost killed me too. That and Russian Katyusha rockets. I was in Vietnam.
That's right.
As a medic.
That's right.
True conscription to keep America free.
That's right. The Russians were supplying them with the weapons
and everything. We didn't lose the
everything.
war to the South Vietnamese. We lost it to a combination. North Vietnam helped them. Russian-built rockets and Chinese weapons, AK-47s.
I don't think we lost the war.
We didn't
I
lose
think
the
we
war.
accomplished a lot if you go back because, look, Vietnam is open now. Their view, my understanding, their view is totally different. It would have been 100% different if we didn't do what we did to make it a difference, to show them that there's a better way in life.
What democracy is.
Correct. There is a better way to life.
Imagine living in a place and the culture shock on an American soldier when he lands there, to see people living in grass huts with no running water.
No food, no running water.
They have to catch their food in the river, wash themselves in the river. It was sad. The culture shock. That's why, although I don't feel there should be a universal draft in America, I feel everyone should do a year's government service in a poor country so they could see how great America is. I mean, the poorest person on welfare in this country is living better than those poor people in Southeast Asia.
Absolutely.
And it was in other countries too,
Absolutely.
the Philippines, Cambodia,
You still
Laos.
have it today. You still have it today.
Haiti today.
Many places is going on today.
And dictators have all the money in these countries. We send them hundreds of millions in aid after a hurricane, some disasters, and then a lot of times it don't get to the people.
No, majority doesn't get to people.
Speaking of that, I got to tell my audience, I've probably known you 11 years because I've been going in your place ever since you bought it, and you brought it from a one-man place to a very successful place. That's why I have you on as a successful businessman tonight. But I really got to know you in the past 6 months.
It's been an honor.
you're a giving person, and I have to say this on the air. You've done a fundraiser recently for the victims of the hurricanes in Puerto Rico, Texas, and Florida.
Yep.
And from what I understand, you may be doing that all this year for various, because you
Absolutely.
want to give back, because you've gotten so much from America.
George, it was you that opened my eyes to many
All right.
things, to bring it to the next level of help. When people hear and people see others do, they tend to join. And what you did was you made this bigger than it was. We at Nonna have been donating since the beginning of the first day, the first year in business, and we will continue. But it's different now because other people participate, like friends. They hear
Michael,
companies that I do business with.
how I've been helping you through my marketing degree that I got from Pace University under the GI Bill. I learned how to get the word out when somebody is doing something good, and you're doing something good in the community. And people now hear about it in the newspapers, they're hearing about it on TV, and I know you're a very shy man about giving money away, but it's for a good cause. And I understand you're going to help the youth of Peekskill, you're going to help St. Jude's Hospital.
Youth of Peekskill, we're going to try to put together as much as we can from now until June. We want to help the new mayor. We want to help him get a good start. We want to help him accomplish what he promised during the campaign. And then some, whatever, with all the efforts we're going to put in. St. Jude's has been in my mind for the longest time. I really feel the need to do something really, really large, big, something extravagant for them, because I just feel, and I only go by commercials, what I see in TV.
Oh, yes.
The way they treat people and what they do for people and for children, I
And
personally...
their families.
Absolutely.
If a child comes down with
Absolutely.
cancer, they take care of their family.
Absolutely.
My wife was educating me on this too. I wasn't
Absolutely.
too up on St. Jude.
But
and
yeah,
we do send a monthly contribution.
Yeah, you told me, and I'm
It
very
isn't the
proud of
biggest
that.
contribution in the world, but if you get 1 million people giving $20 or $40, that's $40 million.
If we get 100 million, George?
Wow.
What's that, George? 100 million? You're talking about $2 billion, and let me tell
And
you.
what I found out in life, if you give, sometimes you get back tenfold in other ways, not necessarily monetarily. I've been doing a TV show for basically 20 years, and people say, what, you make $10 million, $20 million? No, I do it. It's a public access show. I enjoy giving to the community and presenting good people like you to the community, Michael.
George, as I said before, without your help, I wouldn't have been able to contribute as much, because the more it goes out there, the more people help, the easier it becomes to achieve what you're trying to do. And what we're trying to do here is help as much as we can to everyone in need. We're going to start with the local. We're going to start with St. Jude's. We started already with the Support Connection.
And that's a fine organization
absolutely.
in Yorktown
We are,
that supports women who've suffered breast and ovarian cancer. You're
yeah.
doing that as your January fund
Absolutely,
drive.
absolutely. And we're also going to help and work with the mayor in every which avenue that he needs help. We might look like a small community here in Peekskill, but I assure you, we're large and we're very
we're a
giving.
large community.
We got a big heart too.
We do.
The only thing is to get it together, because over the years people get beaten down.
There's a lot the youth in Peekskill could get. I walked through the Kiley Center, which is like a place where kids congregate, and they really need a new youth center in Peekskill. Maybe a drive could be started towards a new youth center, or I've seen in other communities nighttime basketball for children, educational programs through a youth bureau, a PAL where the police of the city take the children, like in the Bronx and Yonkers, to baseball games like the Mets and the Yankees. Community involvement, community policing. Absolutely. We have a fine police force in Peekskill and a fine commissioner, yes.
Absolutely.
And they're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
But it is good to be a community policeman and be a friend to your to the children of Pete Skill?
Well, I'm 48 years old, and my
I'm
mom.
I'm 39.
God
Wink, wink.
bless. God bless.
I'm 1 3/4 legs. But I'm young at heart. You know that. You
Well,
know I'm
that's-
75, right? Or do I look 75? I'm
No,
fishing for a compliment now, Michael.
No, you don't. You don't. You really. I wish I could look as good as you do at your age when I get there.
I wish I
That's all
could look
can
as
say.
handsome as you.
Oh, you are. It's not handsome. It's handsome.
We
It's
both
not-
have good hearts because we want to give to the community.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Like I was saying, I'm 48 years old, right? And my mom still worries about me.
Ah.
Okay? If she sees me well, she's going to live an easier life. She's going to be at ease. I feel the same way about the youth. If we spend time and we give direction to the youth, our lives later on will be easier because at least we don't have to worry about them. We
What's
know
the name of your place again, Michael?
Nonna's.
Nonna's.
Yes.
What does Nonna stand for?
My grandma.
And what's there a picture of in your? We don't see a picture of the mafia mob
no,
there,
no, it's my
and with you in the
grandma.
middle smoking a cigar.
Nah,
we see
George.
your mom there. That's beautiful. Whenever I go in there and we do a video about your fundraising, I like to take a picture under mom. And my mom is up in heaven looking down over us.
My grandma too.
She lived to be 100, by the way.
God bless. My grandma too. I lived a poor, very, very, very poor life. Very poor. But I lived a very happy life.
Same thing here.
It's very interesting.
Didn't have
how-
my first car till I was 22 years old.
I
And it
never
was
had-
an old car from a priest, $450, a 59 Plymouth, I think it was.
My first car was 1970 Pontiac Bonneville.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Big gas burner, but
Oh,
gas
yeah.
was cheap in them
Back
days.
then, yeah, 87 cents a gallon.
So I've got to ask you, how does a poor, I don't know if you were poor, maybe I'm assuming,
no, I was.
immigrant
No, George.
from your country, come to America, start making pizzas 16 hours a day, and become owner of a successful restaurant? How did you rise up like the dough?
I always knew that I wanted to do something of my own. Throughout the years when I worked for others, I always paid attention the way the workers were treated, the way I was treated, how I felt. And I built on that. When I decided to, 1997, when I decided to open my own business, I basically said to myself, I'm going to go against what all other employers did to me and to my coworkers and the way they treated us. And that's exactly what I did. And I also said that I'm going to work, and I'm going to work and be thankful every single day. And I assure you, me and my wife, when we opened the very first place, back in 1997, July 4th was our grand opening day.
1997.
Correct. We opened it together. We basically, from scratch, we built the store, cement, tiles, concrete, all of it. We did it all together. When we opened the store, it would get busy. We didn't have enough help because we couldn't afford just yet. We didn't know where we were going to be. So when we'll have a busy day, now the night was over, 10 o'clock, there wouldn't be many things left. So to start the next day, it wasn't pretty much nothing
So your
left.
wife worked with you? in
All
your first
together,
store.
absolutely.
Wow.
And basically, we would stay to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, working just me and her, lock the doors, work the kitchen, prep dough, prep sauce,
why you
prep meatballs,
deserve.
prep sausage, prep everything for the next day. And then we'll go home and sleep a bit, come to work, at least everything was done. But
And you saved your money from working for
Absolutely.
somebody else.
Absolutely.
That's how you were able to buy your own
Absolutely.
business.
Absolutely.
And take that chance.
you
It's
must,
a big chance when you invest all your money.
You must take chances. You must take
Oh.
chances.
I like a song, I Believe I Can Fly.
Oh, I love that song too.
Also, I like a saying, reach for Venus. Because if you don't hit Venus, if you hit the moon, that's not so bad. But if you stay in a box and just say, I can't do anything, or I'm afraid to take a chance, you'll never get nowheres in life. We're being philosophical now, but it's the truth. Most people don't take a chance in life. And you only have one life. You should live it
To the
and
fullest
live it to the
extent.
fullest.
To the
And
fullest
every
extent.
day you have your health, you have wealth.
Absolutely. Every day you're awake, you should be thankful. Thank the Lord you're here.
Michael,
Thank the Lord.
something else I've noticed about your business, I go through it and meet your help. They are all so respectful. They call me Mr. George when I come in. I mean, and they have smiles on their face. It's, Mike, there's only 1 minute left in the show. Can you give a phone number where people could reach you?
914-737-3222 is our
If
number.
they have ideas about a fundraiser in the future?
Absolutely.
Or if they just want to talk to you
They
for a
should,
minute
they
or
should
two.
contact George. They should contact George. I won't do anything without George.
All right,
I
that sounds good.
I
We
really,
sound like a partnership.
the way I see it is that your experience in life and your life journey could teach me a lot of things from my life from here on out. I got to hear the way I did, but you're full of experience. You're full of ideas.
Life.
Yeah, life itself. You've seen
And
so
you
much.
too, Michael.
If I could tap that, just make the journey a little more easier.
My viewers, this has been Michael
Kabashi.
Kabashi. Like in Kabas, Kubasek was an old councilman in Yonkers. Nonna's Pizza, one of my successful businessmen from Westchester. It's been an honor to have you on tonight, Michael, and it's an honor to have you as a friend. Thank
Honor's
you.
all mine, George.
Till next time. See you.